It was a little after midnight on a Sunday evening in downtown DC. I decided a few hours previously that I was going to spend the evening at my boyfriend's house. So I walked over there when we started getting ready to go to bed. It was pretty humid, hot out, so we turned on a fan and also turned on the TV. And ended up falling asleep with both of those things on. So there was definitely some background noise. Um, as I said, around midnight, 12:30, I started hearing some rustling out in the living room kitchen area. And my boyfriend lives in a basement one bedroom apartment. So the only thing that's separating the bedroom from the kitchen living room is a pretty flimsy unlocked bedroom door. So, of course, I listened harder to see what the noise was. And this time I heard a little bit of louder rustling, also combined with some footsteps. So the footsteps actually started seemingly coming closer to the bedroom door. Um, I immediately panicked. Probably one of my worst fears. My heart started racing pretty rapidly. I felt like my breathing was getting really heavy, and um, hot air felt like it was consuming my entire body, almost as if it was suffocating me. I went to nudge my boyfriend to see if I could wake him up, if he was hearing these same noises. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to wake him up. So immediately I started running through my mind of things that I could do. When I was doing that, though, um, I heard my dog, who was actually sleeping in the bed with us, start growling. And it was a pretty low, drawn out, animated growl. Um, as soon as it escaped her muzzle, I cupped her mouth. I then actually covered mine too because I felt like my breathing was getting so heavy. Um, I waited in the silence of the bedroom to see what was going to happen as a result of the growling and the breathing. And I heard the footsteps actually get farther away from the bedroom door. And I listened for a couple of more seconds, which felt like an eternity, but I heard the main entrance to the apartment door slam. I immediately woke up my boyfriend. He ran out to the living room after I explained to him what happened. I followed suit, and as soon as we got to the living room, it looked like a tornado had come through um, the main living area. So there were papers, checkbooks, everything strewn across the floor. The cushions on the couch had been flipped over with some blankets were on the floor. And my boyfriend quickly started looking for his personal possessions. So he noticed immediately that both of his laptops and his cell phone were missing. I noticed that my house and car keys were missing, and actually, so were his keys. So, in this sort of panicked moment, we were looking around the apartment to see what else was gone, and we both noticed a weird medical bill on the floor, and it had a girl's name on it. We had no idea who she was, but we noticed that her address was actually the street over. After looking around for a couple more minutes, I called the police on my cell phone. They arrived in the hour. It was one policeman, a detective, and a man to take pictures and fingerprint the apartment. So we retold them the story, walked through the night with them, and they were there probably about an hour writing down our story. They said they would be in close contact, follow up with us in a couple of days. They plan to interview some of the neighbors, um, things like that. We also gave them the random paper that we had found on the floor, and they said that they were going to visit that person's apartment to see if they had any connection with the break in. Um, a week went by. We actually didn't really hear from the cops. They had touched base with us once, but no new news or updates, anything like that. Um, within the end of that week, my boyfriend's car also got broken into. So at this point, I was starting to freak out a little bit, think that we were being targeted specifically. So couple more days went on after the car break in, and we heard from the police, and they said they think they know who did it. They're following him, and they hope to have an arrest made by the end of the week. Um, we waited a few more days, and then we were told that the arrest had been made. The break-in suspect was a homeless man who had actually broken into 8 other apartments in the past week, and the random piece of paper we found on the floor was another victim of his break-in, and he just happened to shove some stuff into his pockets, and it so happened to fall out on our floor. So they expect that he will serve actually around 8 years for each break-in, but they said he will likely take a plea deal, so he'll probably only serve a few years in jail. But as for now, he is locked up and behind bars. And of course, my boyfriend and I changed the locks in the apartment immediately, and we were able to luckily get keys made, all new keys made for that in the cars. So yeah, that's how the story ended. But it was certainly a scary evening in DC, and one that I will never forget.